Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. It is not Taco Tuesday, not at our house today.
That sounds good.
Dalton, he's back in the back hiding. Dalton is out here, just FYI, but he was being rambunctious, so I sent him to the back of the shed till he calms down a little bit. So I am Kat, the nurse flipper. I'm joined by my co-host, Rod, picking and punching. Below me are two good friends of mine. I know both of them in person, and they've both been on before, so you might recognize them. Below me is Dagny, Flying Pig Thrifts, and then Catty Corner is Leroy from Blood, Sweat, Sell. So I'm going to make these guys big so they can introduce themselves, let you know if they have stuff going on and where you can find them, and then we will get to your questions. So here is Dagny.
Hello, I am Dagny, Flying Pig Thrifts. Thank you, Kat. And Rod, for having me on again. I'm super excited about being here. Congratulations, Kat, on making 100,000 subscribers. That's awesome. I have a YouTube channel, Flying Pig Thrifts, and you can find me selling on Whatnot twice a week or more. I'm on Tuesdays and Fridays at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard, and you can also find me on Instagram as well.
Perfect. Here's Leroy.
What's going on, guys? I'm Leroy from Blood, Sweat, and Sell. I sell on mainly eBay, and I sell at the flea market 3 times a month. I mainly sell tools, and right now I am in the process of moving. When the next person asks me if I'm done moving yet, all of my inventory 25 miles away, I'm going to strangle them. And thank you guys for having me on again.
Perfect.
Well, I'm glad I showed up late and didn't ask you that behind the scenes, but that's going to be the first question I asked you today.
Man, I am not a fan of moving, like, at all. I don't see how people, like, frequently move on purpose. Like, you know, people that are like, oh, we're moving to a new house. Like, I'm going to attempt to die here. I don't want to move. I might, like, get a vacation home at some point, but yeah.
Leroy, you had an issue, though. You had to move because the building was for his business. So for your office there, you had to move because the building was being sold, or I don't know what they.
Yeah, it was it was a gentleman agreement. Always know if you're subleasing or if you're leasing off of somebody, find out what like how long they've owned it, who owns it. It was a gentleman agreement with the guy that I rent off of, and I'd sublease off of him, and it was just a gentleman agreement, and then it's been sold 3 times since the gentleman agreement. So be aware. I mean, I was able to be there for 5 years, so it wasn't that horrible, but just be aware, guys, because they wanted us out in 30 days. We were able to get them to let us be out in 90, but it's still very confusing. So.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be frustrating for sure. All right, whoa, hold on. Cat's getting all clicky. All right, let's see what we got. What do we got? Miss Diane wants to know if Mercari importing your listings from eBay and other platforms is real or a scam. I got an email to try it, but never imported my listing. I'll just answer it and say it's real. It's just like Whatnot will import your listings from Poshmark. Somebody was saying they just had to check the shipping and stuff. Just remember that if you do that and then it sells, speaking of sales, if you do that and it sells on Mercari, you need to remember to list it on eBay or end it on eBay and vice versa. If you're not using a software to do that for you, that would be my only caution, but it's not a scam. They are offering that free importing. Aunt B says, I sold a battery from my laptop on eBay. It's lithium. How do I ship it with shipping restrictions?
I forgot to say I also saw on eBay. Don't you have to send it ground?
I think so. I think that's the only and I think you have to put lithium battery on the box.
They have stickers. They have lithium stickers or battery stickers.
Yeah, be careful trying to be slick and not doing that. They can confiscate your item. And I mean, I've done it by mistake. I've sold a battery for a battery for a drill gun, and I didn't get in trouble. But when I realized, I was so nervous because I didn't put it ground and put any stickers on it. So be careful with that, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
If you ever buy anything off Amazon that has a battery in, they usually put a big sticker on the side of your box, and they do ship it ground. So that's only restrictions when it comes to the battery.
And you can save those stickers. If you get a heat gun, take those stickers off and you can put them.
Just reuse them.
Yeah.
Look at you tricky son of a gun.
Why not, though? If you don't sell that many, it'd be good to have like one or two on hand. I know, like, I got like the cordless yard tools. Those are lithium batteries. So those boxes had them on them. And also, as another note, remember, if you reuse those and you're not putting a lithium battery in it, to cover up or remove the sticker.
Yes. You can use a blank label if you have good labels, not the cheap ones. You can use a blank label and put it over it, and that will usually cover you.
Yeah. All right. Trash Cat Rescue, how is everyone doing today, and what is the best part of your day today?
This is the best part of my day.
How
are you doing, though?
I'm doing good. I just got back from vacation, and I'm just got over a cold. So I am doing much better than I was this weekend. And I had a good day. Went sourcing, did a show on Whatnot, and now I'm here hanging out with you guys. So it was a good day. Thank you for asking.
It was very hot here in South Carolina, being from the north. Even though I've been here for 5 years, I'm still not used to it. So it's been a hot day, but it's very nice to stop being back online again. I've been away when I shut my store down. I shut my store down and I'm moving at the same time. I didn't want to play that game, mixing stuff up, have to look for stuff. I don't want to do that. So my eBay store has been down for about 2 months. It'll be about another month until I get back on again. But I got another income coming in, so that's good. But being in this chat, and not the chat, but on Cat Show with these guys, and just sort of getting my blood flowing back again. So that's really good.
Awesome, man. For me, best part of my day is when I finish editing a video, because those that do YouTube, you can sit down and you guys watch a 15-minute video that we put out sometimes, but that video may take us 2 hours to edit, and it could be a pain. And I can't do anything else in my day until I get that video out, especially if you're in a schedule. So that's usually the best. That's just a good feeling of completing that task. So yeah, and I'm doing great. Every day you wake up alive, it's a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm doing good today. I have been listing pretty much all day after I unloaded a big auction haul out of my daughter's car. She drove down to St. Pete and picked up a bunch of stuff for me yesterday. I was hoping to pick it up Friday because we're going to baseball Friday, but they put a note, please do not delay pickup. We are taking off for the summer. And I'm like, oh, I better not ask them if I can pick up Friday then, because the pickup days were Monday, Tuesday. So the best part of my day, I'm excited. My daughter is actually starting to take social media marketing managing classes. I asked her to do that because I would like her to help me, and she started doing it today. And it's funny because I told Brad, and he goes in there and she's making her bed. He's like, she's not doing the course. She's making her bed. But so she went to her boyfriend's house and she swears she's going to start the course there. So I'm excited about that. I'm hoping she'll like it. She is not in nursing school any longer. I haven't really said that publicly, but some stuff happened with the school. And so she is now exploring. And I'm not complaining. I'm not going to lie. You guys know I walked away from that as a career. So I am not like highly upset about it. But yeah, so I'm excited and I'm hoping she likes it and I can convince her to like integrate. Even if she doesn't like reselling, I can get her into this somehow. I'm having hope for that. That was the best part of my day. All right. Miss Di. Oh.
Nope. Okay, we do both.
We both clicked. Miss Lisa sent a $5 super chat and said she made 400 listings today. That is amazing. Congratulations. And she remembers thinking she would not get to 100. So yeah, good accomplishment for sure. Congrats on that. Super exciting.
I have to find out what you mean. Oh, made the 400. I misread that. I thought she did 400 listings today. I'm like, what is she listing?
Oh, made 400. How is she listing 400 things in one day? Oh, and Deborah Forbes.
One listed quantity of 400. That's how it is.
Right. I listed 400 items today. They're all the same thing, but that's besides the point. Deborah sent one too. I will give you guys the whale to kick it off. Here you go. All right. Let's see. So Miss Diane says, as seasoned resellers, if you could start from scratch again, what would you change or pay more attention to?
Organization. Shelving space.
I am starting from scratch again. I'm going to be a little more careful with the lower dollar items. I really like the low stuff because most of the low stuff I sell is very easy to ship. It's not like I'm selling something I have to put in a box. 90% of my stuff was a poly bag. But I do want to be a little bit more cautious daily of the higher priced items. Maybe list, 10 or 15 items that are over $25, and still be able to mix my low stuff in. So that's what I will be changing, because I am my store. What I did with my store was I deleted everything. I didn't cancel my store because they charged me today for my membership. But I didn't delete my store. I just deleted all the items in my store, and they're all gone. I saved about 100 of them that I will relist, but it's all fresh listings.
Yeah, so for me, I would say there's going to be a couple different things. If I was starting fresh, one, I was paying attention to sell-through rate. I think that's the biggest mistake every brand new seller buys, because you go out there and you'll see 10 items listed and one item sold for $50, and you get super excited, but it was just an outliner, and really, that person just probably needed the item. That, and then overbuying. I think that's a big thing. I think we love buying. So I would be more disciplined, where I'd pay attention to sell-through rate, be more picky what I buy. And then when I did buy, I would make sure that I would get everything listed before I started to go sourcing again. So I think I would start that. And then I would probably buy, I don't know. It'd be more, I would probably do a lot more sourcing, to be honest with you, because I'd be more picky in starting fresh. So I actually dream, I don't know about you guys, but I actually dream sometimes that like a hurricane would just come, not hit my house, but just take out all my inventory so I could just start fresh. I don't know.
Yeah, I have insurance coverage for that, so it would give me money to do it again. Yeah. So Rod stole my answer. I would definitely pay attention to the sell-through rate a lot more, which is what I'm doing now. I would probably buy less lots. And I say this in my videos, lots are how I built my business up, but I would not feel like I had to list everything from a lot anymore. I would either lot it up into, smaller lots to make the value there, or just give some away or donate it back and know that that's okay. Not think I have to list every single thing to try and get that last penny out, because the time I spend listing those every little things just really does not add up. So I think that would probably be my biggest thing. The whole less is more concept is really kind of coming to forefront for us here lately. And I would focus on higher dollar items, but that's easy to say in hindsight, because in the beginning I didn't have money to buy those higher dollar items, right? So, I would, but I might not have then I'd have like 10 items in my store waiting for them to sell. So the lots are good, but pay attention to the sell-through rate and lot stuff up out of those lots to make it more appealing to buyers and sell it faster, I think would be a good thing.
I think you made a good point there, Kat, because I don't think people realize the journey that we all have gone through over the years, where nickels and dimes make dollars. So you literally, you buy these big lots just, and you're selling off these smaller items, but that's how you build your bankroll. That's how you build up so you can buy these bigger items. And, we look back now, and people always hear us talk about, but they don't know like the struggles a lot of resellers go through. There's, for years trying to build up that bankroll, build up that inventory.
And that's when $10 items are appealing, especially if they sell fast. $10, $10, $10 adds up, and then you can buy a $100 item. Like I just listed like 10 items right before we came on here. And over half of them were over $500 items that I just picked up. I got a bunch of antique tramp art boxes, which are super, super cool, like pyramid chip boxes. And I bought them all individually on auction. People ask me that a lot too. Do I buy individual on auction? When it's higher dollar, it typically is individually. It's not in lots if it's worth a lot of money. The auction companies know, and they're gonna pull it out. And I'll have to, I don't know where she put it. I got a miniature chair that is worth $750. It is this big.
Aww.
And it's a mid-century modern vitro museum piece. And I paid over $300 for it, but it's worth $750. So now that, I've built up, I can do that. But if you told me that 3 years ago, I tell you you're crazy. I'm paying $1 a piece for all these lots. Like there's no way I'm going to do that. But now I am able to do that. All right. This is Miss Elena. This is my thrifting buddy, one of them. Elena and Marsha are my two thrifting buddies. So Elena wants to know, have you ever had eBay relist an item that sold even after you received feedback and you sold it again, not knowing it was relisted?
No. That's weird. No, I haven't had that happen.
What about you, Leroy?
Could you repeat the item?
Have you ever had
you
an
had
item that was
eBay?
sold,
Oh, go ahead, Rod.
and then you received feedback for it, and then it somehow got relisted and was sold again, and you didn't know it was relisted?
No.
So, and Kat probably knows, I've talked about this multiple times on here. I'm going to have PTSD with this question. Just the fact is, I had this one video game, and I don't know why, but I sold it 4 times on eBay over the last year, and it was just, there was a glitch in the system. It was automatically just relisting this one item, and it just kept selling on eBay. And I shipped it out. I wasn't relisting it, wasn't doing it, but it was the same item it did like, I think 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
And now it hasn't happened. I don't think it's happened this year, but that was last year. That was just, it was such a pain, but just kept happening every once in a while. But it was the same item. It was weird.
Okay, the chair is not far away. I see your comment. So after I read the next question, I'll go get the chair and I will show you the little chair. And then I'll put it back so Prissy doesn't yell at me. I have had it happen, but I think a lot of times I don't realize it because we have so many items, but I'm like, I swear I sold that before. And then all of a sudden it's on eBay again and it sells again. So I have had it happen. There's no quick check or any way unless you're remembering everything you sell, which when you sell like 20 items a day, it's really hard to remember all of them sometimes. And like, I can't scroll through 7,000 listings every day just to see if eBay randomly pop things up. So what I typically do in that case is I will tell the buyer, I'm sorry, I believe it was accidentally copied or was listed twice, it already sold. And I offer them something worth double the value. That's what I do to try and make amends. Or I tell them I'll cancel and give a refund. And honestly, probably 90% of them just say, oh, it's okay, just cancel and refund. They don't take me up on offering them double the value. So that's what I do to try and kind of smooth it over because I feel bad, if I bought something and somebody tells me they didn't have it, it would upset me. And now you can also look for it from another seller is another thing I'll do if I can find it. If it's not like a one-off rare item, you could buy it and drop ship it to them too. Patty wants to know, is anyone else having trouble listing today? Only parts of Listing Assistant are working for me, and eBay lost my shipping preferences and is using Canadian currency for my prices.
That's wild too. No, but I didn't list today on eBay. I was listing yesterday. Sometimes when I would do leave feedback, it would switch and be in German. And then I would refresh the page and go back to English. but I've never had. No, I haven't had that. What a pain.
No, hold on. I'm not paying attention.
No, you haven't, because you're not listing anything right now. So I can answer the question for you there, buddy. Yeah, so Leroy's not. He's currently at the store shut down, so he wouldn't have any issues today with anything on eBay. As for me, I listed this morning. So I listed a couple items this morning as I was getting stuff prepared right before I was editing, but I had no issues at all doing anything on eBay today. What about you, Kat? Do you guys have any issues?
I wonder if Patty is
Oh,
from
your cat's
Canada.
getting a chair. What's up?
I wonder if Patty is from Canada.
Yeah, maybe. That could be. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Kat is currently getting in a chair right now. So let's see here. What's the next question here? If you could give any advice on selling a beer tap handles, can you give any advice on selling beer tap handles?
Nope.
Okay.
I have. And just make sure that you say like.
That's so specific.
Yeah, like make sure the description and stuff is clear on it. Because if it has chips or anything like that, some of them collect them and they want them near new, and some of the ones that you get literally come out of a bar and they get abused. So make sure you're pretty honest with your description.
So I have sold a ton of beer tap handles over the years. I put myself through college work in the nightclub and bar industry, so I'm pretty familiar with that. I used to get a lot of promo items from beer reps. I worked at some of the biggest bars that would distribute through like Budweiser at one point in time. And I would say the more fancy it is, the more the cooler looking design. They usually sell for premium. Leroy hit the nail on the head though. Condition does matter a lot. A lot of people will buy them if they have like a bar in their house. They'll buy 1 or 2 taps for like their kegerator, stuff like that. But also too, there's these actual stands. They look like a piece of wood going across, and they have little screws that stand up. And when people will buy those stands, you can put the beer taps on top of those, and then you can line them up on a piece of wood. And then people put those on display on their man cave or their beer cabinet. So use keywords when you do it, like man cave. That's definitely a keyword I would use in your listings. But I mean, just take good pictures of it, and make sure you describe any type of a damage to them. Also, too, if craft beer, like a lot of craft beer people will buy craft beer ones. So it depends on the taps that you have. If it's through a regular distributor like Budweiser, if it's a regular like basic beer such as like Miller Lite, Coors Light, Bud Light, they're not going to bring a premium compared to the specialty beers like craft beer candles will.
All right, so I'm going to answer Patty's question real quick. We did not have any trouble listing today, and I listed a lot today on eBay. And I'm wondering, though, it sounds like you might be logged into ebay.ca, which is eBay Canada.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
I would make sure you're logged into ebay.com. I've done that before and had like Philippines currency, and I'm like, what is going on? And I did some kind of search or like on Google, and when I clicked that item, it switched my whole eBay to that country. So make sure that you're logged into ebay.com, not ebay.ca. And hopefully that'll fix it.
Because sometimes, Kat, like if you say like sell one like this, and if they're in another country, they log you into that's good advice.
When I first signed up for Amazon a couple of years ago, I did the same thing. I signed up for the wrong selling platform by accident, and then my whole thing was in Chinese, and I couldn't figure out what to do, and the things I had to like go back there and like redo the whole So
I've done that on Amazon too, like accidentally changed the language, and then it's all in that language. There's nothing in your language to like figure out what to click to get it back. So super hard. I haven't sold a ton of, I think I've sold maybe 1 beer tap handle. That's because the ones I've researched were all selling low. I haven't found a ton that are worth selling. So I think the ones I was finding were more common. And I'm going to show you guys this chair. It's by Le Corbusier. He's very mid-century modern, similar to Herman Miller.
Aw, look at it.
Hold on. Listen, I also just had a heart attack when I went to look for it because she said it was in a box and it was on the display shelf, and I was fixing to like freak out and be like, "Where's my chair?" It was on the display shelf. So
there it is.
Here is, isn't it cute? It's like they had Herman Miller miniatures, so they're museum pieces. They're displays for this furniture from mid-century modern for the museum. And the last two sold for $650 and $699 of this one. There are none listed except mine. So I think I listed $750 or $799 because it's all about supply and demand, and I have the only one. So
That's super cute.
I'm pricing. It is. And I wish I could have got the Herman Miller ones, but the Herman Miller ones went over 400 and they're only worth 600. So I had to make myself stop, even though they were like the cutest little Herman Miller chairs that I'd ever seen. But yeah, so that is my one little chair. I think that's Aunt B answering somebody else. Unique Vintage says, does listing daily on eBay make you more visible? And if so, what is a good number to list each day?
I think it does. Before I did Whatnot, I used to list all the time, and you try to list daily. And then even when I would go away out of town, I would have listings in my drafts so I could have some going out each day while I was gone. And now I don't do that. But I think it does because I sell other places. So, but I think it is good for you to always have some kind of action on your eBay account. And what's a good number? Whatever you can handle. If 5 is a lot for you, then do 5. If you can do 20, do 20. If you do 400.
See what you did there.
In a day.
But I would say yes, if you should stay active, or even like rearrange things, take old listings, rearrange photos, change the title a little bit, do something a little bit on your eBay account.
I feel the same way. You should always, and like, make sure that you're shipping promptly as you can, even if you have 3-day shipping and you can ship it out that day or the next day. That the algorithm sees all of that. And the more that you're active with eBay, I feel the more that the algorithm sees that you're active. You can call it algorithm, whatever you want, but if you're active in certain parts of eBay, it makes them see that, like, if you sell, for me, I feel like if I sell two $200 items and I don't ship them for 2 days, my viewing and my sales go way down. If I put the label on it and ship it right and get it ready and just have it so it's ready, my sales continue to stay in that flow. That's what I feel.
I've been selling on eBay for a very long time, since 1999, and I will tell you that when you are consistent in listing, you get consistent sales, 100%. So now Dagny hit the nail on the head. The amount that you should be listing is going to be based on the inventory you have, and then based on what you can handle. Because we remember, if you're listing 10 items, you have to be able to ship out those 10 items and list 10 items the next day. Or if you're listing 50 items and then you get 50 orders, now you're not going to be able to list 50 items. So you need to have a good balance in there. So I would say one of the best methods, whatever you can do, and if you guys ever listen like Tech and Sports, if you guys don't know who he is, he was the #1 clothing seller on eBay in several different categories. But he's a component that you should list every single day, be consistent. And one thing that he always says, and it's something that I've done for a while too, here, is when you do create listings, say if you're going to list 10 a day, maybe list 15 a day, but keep 5 as drafts. So you have 5 to start off the next day, just in case, because life happens, life gets in the way. We all have families, we all have jobs, we all have pets, emergencies happen. Or maybe a call, you want to do something fun, like things happen, or you get a call for a big source, go out sourcing. So for me, like, for example, I got a call one day where I need to go out and buy $2,000 worth of stuff. I'm going to drop everything to go because it's one of my contacts I work with all the time, and I have no idea. They don't call me for months. When they call me, I drop everything to go because it's a good contact to have. So by having those drafts already done, I don't have to worry about listing for that day. I can quick knock those listing out, spend as much time as I need there, and focus on my business. So I will say, whatever number you decide that you can list per day, try to go, a couple above that. So if your goal is 10 per day, maybe list 15 and take 5 of those as drafts. Or if your goal is 5 per day, maybe do 10 per day, put 5 as drafts and 5 listed. So that way you always have a big draft bank building up over time that when you need it, you can use it.
Yeah, I like to list the amount I want to sell. So if you want $100 in sales a day, list $100 worth of items a day. I did. Okay, Lucas, listen here. Hold on. I'm going to put it up when I'm done answering this. He's spoiling my surprise by remembering. So I actually don't have a draft bank anymore. I got all of my drafts out. Well, I have some now because my employees are listing 20 to 50 a day, but I had them all cleared out. I actually had none to list on Sunday. I caught up with them completely. But I would say I always still end and sell similar and sending offers. There are other things that are going to help your, in the algorithm as well. But definitely at least like 2 or 3 minimum is what I would say.
Yeah.
So Lucas is asking if I got to try out the thermal printer. I did get to try out the thermal printer, and I opened the box and I did a little display, and I'm putting it in my video tomorrow, but I'm going to give away a thermal printer tonight. So Jaden's official is who reached out to me, and I told them I wanted a pink printer, and they sent me a pink printer, the pink thermal printer. They said we can't pick for the giveaway though. They said they'll send you a random color. So guys, I'm sorry if you get a pink printer if you win. They said the color will be at random, but they do have different colors. So yes, I'm giving away a thermal printer tonight. I'm going to pop the code up. I'm not going to give it away yet though. I'm not letting Lucas spoil that much yet. I'm going to give it away in a little bit. But here's a link, and they gave me a code for 14% off. And I'm going to give away one here shortly. So don't go anywhere, but you can't pick your color. I'm sorry, but we'll give away a thermal printer, and I'll give away some tape from Joel too, because we haven't done that in a while.
So
all right.
Does that mean that you're all caught up in your drafts? That means your death pile is now officially done for?
It was gone except for what we picked up Monday.
Wow.
So everything is new.
So how does that feel? It's
actually a little scary not having like some back stock. I mean, I do, but honestly, I don't even have enough probably for the week for them for work. So I'll have to go thrifting, which a printer for free, guys, over $100. I'm going to give one away here soon. I'm happy. Listen, if people reach out to me and it's stuff I'll use, if they want to send it to me free and give you guys one for free, I'm all about it. Now, if they ask me if I want to tell you about the new gaming app, then I tell them nothing. I just delete them and they can go away. But if it's something we can use and they will send us free ones and they have pink labels, then we will take their stuff and we will appreciate them. Like Joel and his tape, right? We all use tape. Okay. Anyways, so it is kind of scary. Like if I don't have enough stuff for them to list, but I did tell my new employee that sometimes I might not have stuff because I don't want to buy stuff anymore. Yeah. Right? Like I don't want to just buy it to buy it. I want it to be good. Like I said, everything I listed today, the majority was over $500. And that is not my goal. I wish my goal were $500 and higher. My goal is really $50 and higher, but I will do anything $25 and higher. But it's a little scary, like not having more than a week's worth of inventory. I know I can source, right? Like I don't have any question in my sourcing abilities, but it's still kind of scary.
It's got to be liberating in a way, but I mean, also, factoring the factor that you have employees, that also, does make things a little bit more difficult. So for people out there that maybe think about getting an employee, I mean, that's a good question to ask you here is, what is the ideal situation? I mean, when you do have employees working for you, like what is the sweet spot about having inventory versus your death pile? Is it a 1 week's worth of work, 2 weeks worth of work? I mean, where a month's worth?
I like to have like 2 to 4 weeks worth of stuff here because I could go thrifting and there could not be very much good stuff. So one of the employees, the part-timer, lists 20 items a day, and then my full-timer can list 20 to 30 a day. So really we list up to 50 a day, and that's a lot. Now, if anybody's watched my thrifting videos, I can get 50 in one thrift store without problem a lot of times. But I told the part-timer that we might not always have it as I'm changing the business model, because I'm not going to buy just to buy. Because before I'd be like, oh, let me buy this box of no name scarves, that'll sell for $15 a piece. And I'm not doing that anymore. So I think having somebody that's flexible, like she's a teenager, so she's not relying on the money for bills and things like that. That's nice. Now my full-timer is, but she also does shipping, and she's willing, like we could do Whatnot sales if we didn't have inventory. I do still have a room full of Whatnot inventory. That I was not counting that, but it's not stuff I want to list on eBay. It's stuff I bought just for Whatnot.
Yeah.
Like postcards, a lot of costume jewelry, but just so what do you mean, Cowgirl Jewel? Do I have them go through aged items? Explain to me what you mean. As far as like, we pretty much list it and forget it here. We don't remove a lot of items. I have had her, like we removed all the VHSs, DVDs. I'm dating myself. We removed all the DVDs, so I had her pull them. I love scarves too, but if they are not branded, they are not going to meet my $25 minimum, Gina. And I'm trying very adamantly to meet a $25 minimum. And a non-branded scarf is typically going to be between $12 and $20.
And why don't you explain to the audience why you have a $25 minimum?
Because I have to pay people to list the stuff and ship the stuff.
Hey,
so
anything below that wouldn't be beneficial. You'd be losing money, right?
I would be about breaking even. Yeah, I wouldn't really be making much. So, yeah, I mean, if you're by yourself, like when it was just me, I could list those scarves. She has a Jimmy in the background. It's not a ghost. It's a Jimmy.
That's Jimmy walking back and forth.
Do 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 do. That'll be her next video on her new house, is about the ghost that you're seeing tonight.
That's so funny.
All right. Miss Joanne said, do you find that buyers on Whatnot are resellers looking for low prices, or are there collectors who are willing to pay retail? I have not tried it, but I'm considering it.
Do you think both? Because I have bought on Whatnot to resell, and then I also have collectors. I think it's both. Let's see. Do you find that the buyers on Whatnot are collectors who are willing to pay retail? I would say both. It depends on your show. If you're having a show and you're doing like bulk stuff, like right now Donatella is on and she's selling lots of jewelry, like 3 pieces, that would, and it goes cheap, that'd be good for me because I could flip it. But then Logan's Book Cavalry is selling books. Like I think you would be a collector of books to buy from him. So I think it depends on your show. If Kat is having her postcard show, you're probably a collector and want to add to your collection. I'm not.
I sell individual postcards. Right. I don't sell stacks like a lot of people do.
Right. Yeah. Like Sandy had. She's going to have a Halloween sale of postcards, and she was kind of like, teasing us, like, well, I'll sell this one, and I was like, but it's going to go high. It's not enough. It's for a collector. But
Halloween postcards are money, guys. If you don't know it, they are money.
They are. But then Green 13, they sell huge things. So they're doing Pick This Old House, and I bought from them, and I've already sold the stuff I bought from them. And you can get that. So it depends on your show, I think, of the category and what people are selling.
Leroy, you don't do Whatnot, do you?
No, I'm contemplating still. There's some other issues there. I'd love to. I worry and I'm a little nervous of the way it works and reading the names off and stuff like that. I have no problem with finding the inventory. I can get the inventory. It's just the other back part of it. I'd love to try. We'll see.
So I would say Dagny hit the nail on the head because it depends on the show.
Two times. I'm keeping track.
She's killing it tonight. You're killing it. This is so. Listen, no one likes to show off. All right, listen. All right. All right. So when it comes to category, expensive category, if you go to storage unit category, you're gonna find a lot of items to resell in there because people are literally just getting boxes and blowing stuff out. They're literally doing unboxings live. Now, for example, I do shows on Disney items because I live in Florida and I'm literally like an hour from Disney, so I find a ton of Disney collectibles. But I start my shows super low. Everything's like either $3 or $5. All right, when I do my shows, and I have collectors that come in there, and I also have resellers that come in there. So resellers do buy items from me to flip on eBay and flip on other places, but I have a lot of collectors. It's a mixed bag that comes through there. And Kat didn't tell you last night I did a show, and so Vendu cross listing. They have a Whatnot app there you can do. So I've been taking some of my eBay auctions and moving it over, and I put 130 items in my buy now last night. And man, I just had people go in there and just make offers and stuff. And we sold a lot last night in the marketplace,
nice.
So which was good. So it was good. So, but see on there, I had resellers come into my regular auction that were buying things, but I sold 12 items in my buy it now last night just from people that were collectors that wanted the items for their personal collection because they were higher price items. So it's going to vary. It just depends on how you position your show. And put it this way though. It doesn't matter if you're selling to a reseller or if you're selling the item to a collector. If you have good items, if you have good prices, I don't care who I sell to. The money's the same if it comes from a collector or a reseller. So if I put it in there and promote to everybody, and people get deals, they'll go come back and buy more in the future.
Yeah, I think Dagny hit it. Like you could have both in the same show, which is okay. I start mine. I do throw some higher dollar jewelry items in there that a reseller could make decent money on, but they might be longer tail. That might be why I'm putting them on Whatnot.
But Kat, you've also remember the opportunity that was it didn't you put something up for like $500 or $300 one time, and then no one bought it, and then you put it on eBay and you sold for $1,000?
Oh, a bracelet. Yeah, I think I told him I would do it. $400
or $300.
No, I think it was like 7 or 8, but it sold for 13 in a day.
Yeah.
So they would have made a $500 profit in a day had they bought it from me on Whatnot. And I told them what I expected it to sell for. But that goes back to the whole, like, not everybody can pay up, that's a lot of money out of their pocket. But I have done some Native American pieces that are worth more. And sometimes it's collectors, sometimes it's resellers. And I kind of, when I'm like singling the items out, I just want to caution everybody, no matter who you're buying from, do your research. And I know it's hard if you're just seeing it really fast, but I sell some stuff and some of you tell me you're reselling it. And I'm like, you paid too much. Like, I'm just going to come out and say it. And like, so I don't know your intention behind what you're bidding, and my goal there is, of course, to make money, but I never know, like, are they buying it for themselves or a Christmas gift, or are they buying it to resell? And a lot of times I think people are buying it for a Christmas gift or for themselves, and they're buying it to resell it, and they're paying more than I would pay anyways, and not leaving a ton of profit there. Now the lace we did, Rod, did I tell you? I told you. We did a lace show. It wasn't even a lace show. It was supposed to be a Shop the Shed show that turned into a lace show. We sold 6 giant totes of lace on Saturday. Every single piece of lace that was not listed, we sold on Whatnot. And it was a beast to pack yesterday, I will tell you. And that people will make a lot of money from that. We are selling the individual rolls for $30 to $50, and I was selling whole drawers of it for $20 starts. So that was like a reseller's dream, the lace. And I was just like, we have listed a lot of it. We've been putting it off. Thank you, Judy. Judy was in our lace. It wasn't really, it turned into a lace show. and we made good money, and we got all of the lace out, and we have extra space. So people that bought from that show are going to make some money. But my jewelry, I pay up. I pay $5 to $10 a piece. So when I'm starting it at 10, I'm losing money. So that's why, like, I actually haven't bought any more jewelry for Whatnot because of that. I might again, but as of right now, I have not been buying it for Whatnot because of that reason. All right. Rita says she's been selling on eBay for a little while and she has more than 250 items. When she gets a store, does she have to relist what she has now?
I don't think so.
Hurry up.
They should still be there.
Yeah. So when you have a store, when you upgrade your store, nothing actually changes on your listings. Your store just allows you to list more items in your actual store, and you don't have to pay any higher fees for your items. You get those discounted fees when you do that.
Yeah. So it'll automatically convert. You do absolutely nothing. Okay. Miss Linda said, why does eBay charge me for a label and also the buyer? So they're charging the buyer, and the money goes to you. Right. Yeah. The money from the buyer goes to you, and then you buy the label.
Yeah. eBay is the intermediate between you and the buyer. They take the payment processing for you, but provide you the money in your account. So that's just the buyers being able to see what they're paying for, and then you're actually getting them on deposit in your account for you to purchase that label any way you like.
All right. Michelle says, what is your opinion on international shipping? Is it worth it or not?
I use the global shipping program, so I don't have to worry about anything. You just send it. It used to be in Kentucky, and now I think it's in Illinois or some other place. Illinois.
I think it's Illinois, yeah.
And it might be higher for them, but it's just easier because then you just have to get it to the shipment place, and then don't have to worry. I mean, I've had them sent weird places, and you're like, I'm sorry, I like it because it's through eBay, and it's not anything extra, fill out anything, but I've never done it the other way, so I don't know if they're paying really high prices or not for shipping. It's just easy.
I do the same as you. I just go through the eBay global shipping. Once in a while, if it's going to, I don't know if it's Puerto Rico, they'll make me fill out a little different form, which really isn't that much of a pain in the neck. I didn't have a regular printer in my old warehouse, but in my new warehouse, I am going to go back and get another my thermal printer, but I'm going to get another printer because there's some of the forms that I need to print and I don't know how to print them because I only had a thermal printer. So, but I use the global shipping, and I think it's worth it because for me, it was only like every couple of weeks I'd sell 1 or 2 items, but usually when they're buying, it's usually bigger money stuff.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar how the global shipping program works, eBay handles all the international shipping, headaches, customs, everything for you. So the buyer actually pays 2 shipping prices: one to ship it domestically to the eBay warehouse, and then an international shipping cost. You only get the domestic shipping cost given to you as a seller. And once the item hits eBay's international shipping warehouse, you are pretty much scot-free at that point in time. So eBay handles the shipping, so the item gets lost, the item has custom issues, something happens during that process, the buyer is covered and the seller is covered through there. So it's actually a wonderful program. I would say it removes the headache out of you trying to fill out custom forms. It also removes the headache for a lot of sellers, dealing with shipping things international, because there's a little nuance when it comes to different places you do ship. But I'm not sure, Kat, I'm not sure if you saw the email that went out by eBay a couple days ago.
Puerto Rico one? Puerto Rico.
I mean, I don't know about you guys,
international. They're smoking something good over there.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico has been a U.S. territory since 1917, over 100 years, and now eBay's adding it to the international shipping program. what
Silly.
the hell are they doing there? Like, I don't understand. Like, does that mean that we're going to pay? I mean, I did a
I
flipping
read
video of
something
this.
that somebody contacted them and they basically said they didn't know.
Yeah, like I don't know what is going on. So like, but it opens up a whole can of worms. And you know, I talked about this in my flipper video come up on Sunday. You know, does that mean that we have to pay, the buyer's going to pay a double shipping cost for Puerto Rico because everything you ship falls under
It's
domestic?
ridiculous. It normally goes straight there. Yeah.
Right there, yeah. So like, for example, like for me to ship an item from Florida to Puerto Rico, you know, ground advantage under £1 is going to be like $5, $6 to ship the item. Now is that buyer going to pay like $20 to have an item shipped for me to ship it from Florida to Illinois, from Illinois to Puerto Rico? They're going to pay double shipping costs. Like, what is going on? So I'm not very happy with this. I guess we'll have to find out on that. So
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
have-
And I think it's worth it. It's not hard. Go ahead, Leroy.
I'm sorry, because we're talking about the global shipping. Does anybody first get the sale and be like, "Oh my goodness, this item sold for $72, and it really only sold for like $42"?
yeah,
But
Because of the shipping.
because of the shipping, when you first see it, like, wow, and they're like, no, that you'll never see that, Leroy. That's what they're gonna pay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I say it's worth it. It's not hard to do. I wanted to put this up because Sweet Peas Addict said, I sold 2 items to someone in France. I have no international shipping selected. I think the default is that you are opted in to eBay international shipping because you don't do anything different. You ship it to Chicago. There is absolutely no difference. And I think they do automatically opt you in. You would have to opt out, but I really don't think that's wise because you're doing nothing different, guys. You're just shipping it to Chicago. And like that's it. So I personally would not opt out because of that.
and I'll give you guys a story. I literally had a $425 order get busted up during shipping to France, and I was protected and the buyer was protected through the international shipping program. So it is worth its weight in gold. Yes, we may lose some sales just the fact that these buyers are paying astronomical shipping charges because they're paying a domestic one and then they're paying an eBay premium international shipping charge. But at the same point in time is those buyers and the sellers are paying for a peace of mind. And that's why you have auction houses that pay buyers premium, because these big major auction houses are taking care of and handling all the things for you. So there is a method behind the madness, but I highly recommend everyone turns it on if you don't, because like Kat said, it doesn't cost you anything to do that, and you're missing out on sales if you don't have it turned on.
I did learn that if you're doing the global shipping, don't send it priority to Illinois. You really don't have to. These guys might say different. But me personally, I started realizing I don't need to send that priority to Illinois. They're waiting for a while anyway.
Yeah.
So what are you guys' thoughts on that? Like,
so you're saying that if you have priority mail on there, you would rather just ship it ground advantage because you'll save a little extra money, and then the buyer's going to be waiting on it anyway.
yeah.
I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, but ground advantage sometimes takes like 2 weeks. If it's more expensive items, I might charge them for ground advantage and I up it to priority because ground advantage can be really slow.
But going to Illinois?
From South Carolina, I mean, that's not super close.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I have ground advantage on most of mine anyways, though.
Yeah.
But for international, I wouldn't bump it up because it's going to take forever anyway.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about just the international stuff.
No, I wouldn't bump it
I
up.
was paying priority and I started realizing, what am I doing?
All right. Let's Miss Artemis wants to know, how many minutes does someone have to watch a YouTube video for it to count as a view? I'll just answer this and say none. You could watch 30 seconds and it counts as a view.
Yeah.
But
you can just scroll through and it goes live, and I can watch Kat without
and that's
watching
a
the
view.
commercials, and it still counts as a view.
Yeah. So as a YouTuber, we have there's analytics for us that it's for the first 30 seconds of a video about how many, and I would say YouTube expects you to lose 30% of your audience within the first 30 seconds of your video for the fact what they were saying is like you're scrolling through, you accidentally click on it, or maybe you're cooking in the kitchen and you have YouTube on your TV and it automatically goes to the next video and you got to click off it right away. It still counts as a view, but.
All right. I am going to put a link before I put up to enter for this giveaway because I told them I would share it with you guys and they gave us a free printer and they only have like 500 subscribers, guys. So if you would, as a thanks, because they are giving us a printer for somebody in the chat, go subscribe to Jaden's Home. They have tutorials and you can actually print all your labels from your phone on their printer too. They have an app on your phone and they have full-size thermal printers that print on full sheets of paper that you could take like to a hotel or wherever with you, which is pretty cool too. Black Sheep Society said, thanks for the show and thanks for bringing Leroy on. Dolphins are my preferred marine. Well, I'm happy to bring Leroy on. Leroy is a very, very good friend of mine. And I have had the pleasure of getting to meet him, and he's one of my favorite people. Dagny too. I love when everybody comes on that I've met in person. So like we have known each other. All right, so Dagny has been to my house. Leroy hasn't been to my house. He was supposed to come, but he didn't. Leroy, see, he knew I was going to say that. He was supposed to come down for the What the Hales thing, and he didn't come. And it was in Chiefland, so he was going to come visit.
You have to, because she knows manatees, and you get to go see the manatees.
Yeah, and I jump in the water with the manatees, and then they swim away. Oh, because it took an hour for the park ranger to decide to let me in. But anyways,
she's very thorough.
She was very thorough, but she did let me. She only let me in because she wanted me to dive and get her pen.
That's true.
So when Dagny was here, the springs had been closed for months to swimming because there was floods and they were too cloudy. And there were manatees in there and I wanted to go and I wouldn't break the rule. I'm kind of OCD about the rules a little bit. So I went to the ranger station and asked them and they came down and the ranger was looking over and she dropped a very nice pen on the bottom of the springs into the water. So I think that had something to do with her decision to let. She's like, you can get in if you get my pen, and I did dive and get her pen.
She just
dropped it. It like fell like right out.
It fell out of her pocket, Rod. She'd been over. And anyways, but by the time I got in, the manatees had left, and I'm like, well, now I said I wanted to go in. I gotta go get her pen. So yeah. But all right, Black Sheep Society said a dolphin, so I'm gonna do the original dolphin one. Here you go.
Super chat.
Camille's got one too. Thank you.
Melissa wants to know which spring.
What's what, huh? Oh, Manatee Spring. Oh no, that was Fanning Springs. But I go to Manatees. I live about 10 minutes from Manatee Spring, I live 10 minutes from Manatee and about 30 from Fanning. And we didn't see any manatees in Manatee Springs, so I told Dagny we should go to Fanning Springs. And when we went there, there was a mama and twin baby manatees in the spring. So it was pretty cool.
It was.
All right, I'm going to share the screen, guys. We're giving away a thermal printer from Jaden's Home. I want to thank them. I got it. I tested it, made sure it was easy to set up. It is easy to function. It works well. I was not going to suggest it to you guys without trying it first. So I did have them send me one. So here
I have one, Kat. I have the.
Oh, you have a Jaden too?
And so does Kate. Yeah.
Yay. So we have more feedback on Jaden's. How long have you had yours, Dagny?
Since February.
Okay, so Dagny's had hers a while, so that's good to know. So hashtag Jaden's Home is to enter to win a free thermal printer, guys. Free thermal printer, and I'll put my code at the end when we pick the winner, because otherwise my code's going to get just lost in all of your hashtag Jaden's Home. And I will put their YouTube again. Their YouTube is hard to find because they don't have many subscribers. So that's why I'm putting the link, because I tried to search it on YouTube and I couldn't find it. Okay, let's get a question up while you guys are entering for the printer giveaway. Hyacinth wants to know. Oh, we got to click that other thing, Rod. Which one is it? Oh, not that one.
That's not that one. Nope,
Oh.
not that one.
We don't know what we're doing.
It's Kat's first show.
I'll
It's
change
not
it
this
after. That one.
Oh, it's that one.
It's the third one from the right.
Okay. So Hyacinth wants to know, how do you ship a framed print or a painting, and which carrier would you use?
I have shipped like really large framed paintings, and it didn't have glass, so that made it easier, less stressful. And I went through USPS, and you put bubble and cardboard over the glass or the painting, and you just wrap it like monkeys are going to have a party.
I've never thought of that. That's perfect to say.
I personally, certain things, if I have to ship them like that, I'll add the price a little bit more, and I'll just go to like U-Haul.
The UPS store.
No, I'll go to U-Haul, and U-Haul has like specialty boxes for TVs, specialty boxes for pitches, and it has the padding and stuff already in it. So that's what I do if I have to.
So here's a little shipping hack for you guys. If you guys go to a dollar store, right now you guys can buy pool noodles, and they are great to put on the end for $1
and a quarter.
Take a razor blade, slice it in half, and they fit on the edges of any picture frame that you guys need to ship. Anything that's like breakable with glass, I highly use that. If you sell anything like collectible slabs, like comic book slabs, you can cut those. You can put them on the ends of it. It gives added protection. So that's always one big one too. But also too, once you put it on the ends, you can slice them and lay them on top of the glass across, so it adds extra padding on top of them. So pool noodles is a great hack. Also too, if you sell boots and you don't want the boots to fall over, cut the pool noodles in half and stick them inside the boots. And that's a good way to keep your boots from falling over. So I use pool noodles for a lot of things. And that would probably ship to UPS. So
yeah, UPS or FedEx to ship it, and I use the box. Leroy's saying he gets the boxes from U-Haul. I order them off Amazon. I order TV boxes, like flat screen TV boxes, and we normally keep. I might be out of them. I might need to order some more. I normally keep like 2 of different sizes because we do sell art, and so we like to keep them, and keep an eye out because Amazon will have them in the warehouse as used and the box is damaged on boxes. And there's really nothing wrong, and you can get them a lot cheaper that way. All right. Miss Linda sent a $5 super chat and said, thank you as always. Lots of great info and help. I will give you a dolphin real quick. And I'll give you guys, there's still people entering. Let's give it a couple more minutes. And thank you to those of you who went and subscribed to them. Like I said, I think they had like 500 subscribers when I looked. So they don't have many. They have tutorial videos on there to help you learn how to print from your phone and different things. So they're not like putting out tons of content like we are. It's just if you guys need help with your printer. All right, here we go. Chris misses Leroy. Me and Rod both just hit that at the same time.
Here we go.
Chris says they miss you. Should we give Chris Kevin?
Yeah, give Chris Kevin. He likes Kevin.
Okay, close your eyes, ladies. Close your eyes, Dagny. Here we go.
Let me tell you the best part about that.
They're little. Hold on. I'm gonna. How can I take it out? Hold on. Here. She's still Oh, look. So you can see Dagny still laughing.
Oh, wait a minute. What did we just do?
Now you can't see it all.
Oh, no, there it is, right here. So, let me tell you. I watch the guest every time, and I watch Dagny. She's going like this. She's like, but she has to cover one eye so she can watch the other one. And she's giggling like a little schoolgirl, but she's covering one eye, like it's going to block out, making her blind. So she's like, I'll be blind in one eye and one eye only. So
you're muted. She was laughing so hard she had to mute herself.
I had to cover one eye. I didn't see that before.
Yeah, Yvonne made that for me. Yvonne
That's
Thrifty
hilarious.
Rich made that. Oh, I don't, what do I, this button.
There you go.
Okay. All right. I see Mark has finally arrived. There is his late fee. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Mark, if you want to get in on this, or if somebody just came in, I'll give you guys like 30 more seconds. We are giving away a thermal printer, guys, from Jaden's home.
Speaking about Kevin, rumor has it that he may or may not be coming to see us next month. I don't know. Maybe. I guess we'll have to find out. Wait and see.
I guess we will. Oh my gosh, Sandy likes Kevin's butt. She sent $5 to see him again. Okay. I'll give you Kevin's butt again.
No.
Here you go. Close your eyes.
Do you guys think if we get Kevin to come on the show next month that he will show up wearing that outfit?
Yeah, we
It's
should
possible.
request that if he
We should
comes.
request it. Oh, yeah, let's see. I don't know.
So I put the link again to Jaden's channel because it is hard to find. And I did let them know that. I did let them know it because when I tried to search YouTube for him, I couldn't find him. So I put the link in again. And I'll put it one more time for you guys. Let's go ahead and pick a winner. And if you win, just email me your shipping information and you'll get a random color of 4x6 thermal label printer for free shipped to you. All right, here we go, guys. Let's see who's gonna win the printer. Dun, da, da, da. Starlight
Congratulations.
A Facebook viewer, guys. A Facebook viewer got it. So we do stream to Facebook and YouTube. So Starla, just email me the nurseflipper@yahoo.com and send me your information. Now I'm going to hit back. You guys can still see it. And we will do this again. And we'll give away some of American Bubble Boys tape. So we will do hashtag #MyGoToTape. And you'll get a free 6-pack of tape shipped to you, courtesy of Joel at American Bubble Boy. And I will put the discount for the printer at the end of this giveaway because I know it'll get lost again. I'm not going to put it in there now. Starla says, yay. You guys can't see her comments, but we can. There she is over watching on Facebook. So hashtag #MyGoToTape. We'll give away some tape. Let's go ahead. We can answer another question from you guys. D. Bernard wants to know, how do you add additional charges for shipping? I think she means handling.
Oh, I don't.
Isn't it just in the shipping section? I've never added a handling charge.
Yeah, so
There is a handling charge there, but I've never done that.
Yeah, in eBay, there's under the shipping section, there's a little box you can check for handling, and then you can go in there and add like an extra $5-10 charge if you need to do handling for anything. So
yeah, so it's just, it might be a little like see more button for it to show, but just hit that and you can add it. A lot of people were commenting on my video about like what changes I'm making, saying they do a $1 handling charge just to give them a little bit towards the box and bubble wrap if they're passing the discount on, which is a great idea. And you probably could bulk edit all of your listings and add a $1 handling fee. I bet that's possible.
Let me ask you, Kat, though. I mean, if you bought something and you saw there's because it shows up as a handling charge on your invoice.
Does it?
Yeah, I think so. So would you be upset if you had a dollar handling charge?
I don't think I would for $1.
Okay.
If I do a big item, I'll do a $5 handling charge. Absolutely.
I mean, the auction companies charge us for big items that are a pain in the butt. I just paid $300 shipping for like 4 lots. I wasn't very happy about it. And this is funny. And I haven't unpacked it yet, or I'd show you. The guy says, I'm sorry, but that pirate ship is just a lot. And I'm like, I bought a pirate ship?
Oh.
No, I didn't. So I bought a bunch of Department 56 Halloween stuff, and it wasn't in the original box. And one of them was a pirate ship that had all these.
Oh, gotcha.
I was like, oh, okay, here's my card number.
I have an auction.
Give me a discount though.
I have an auction house here that they charge you for picking up the item $5 handling fee for every item you get.
If you
Really?
pick it up,
If you pick it up. So if I get
well,
20
that's
items,
sneaky.
if I get 20 items, it's $5 each item.
I don't like that. I wouldn't buy from them.
Yeah.
I would not. All right. Miss Linda says she's going on a trip Wednesday through Tuesday, so 6 days. And she said people are telling her not to use vacation mode, but to put shipping time to 5 or 6 business days. She's worried a buyer might not realize this when they buy. Do we have any advice for her?
I would put it on vacation mode. I just came back from vacation and had mine on vacation mode, and they can buy up to 15 days while you're gone, or you can turn it off, but they can still see your items. I always use vacation mode and have people can purchase, and then they know it says right on your top, not warning, but be aware, shipper is delayed, tell blah blah blah, so they will know. And then you don't have to change it back. No, I would put it on. I don't know why people would say not to put it on vacation mode. That's the point of having a subscription, is that you can do that. I thought I wouldn't do that. I would put it on vacation mode and then make money while you're on vacation. Everyone else is stunned. They had no answer. Next question.
I personally would do the opposite of what she said.
Here's where opinion based, guys.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
What I do is, especially Wednesday to Tuesday, I do it all the time when I go up north. When I go up north about three or four times a year, I'll put my store on 5 days handling time. I won't put it on vacation mode. I normally have a 1 day handling time. I'll put it on 5 days, and then once I'm there 2 days, I bump it back down, because the weekend doesn't count. I might be wrong. I'm just telling you how I do it. But the weekend, from what I see, they don't count Saturday and Sunday.
No, it's not. It doesn't count as a business day.
So I switch it back on Friday, and then I'm still covered. And I'll also give you guys a little clue. What I do is I actually put my store on sale during that time that I'm away and I'm not listing. So if I'm not listing, I don't care. I'll put a 20%, 30% off on everything, because I'm still bringing in money, even though I'm not listing.
So part of the reason why people don't like to put on vacation mode, because they say that it takes a while for their store to get started back up. So like if you put if you put on vacation mode, like the algorithm may take a week or two for the kickback on. And I've done both. So I put my store in vacation mode when I went on my honeymoon. I didn't put my store in vacation mode when I got married, though. So I do the same thing that Leroy does. I would actually extend my shipping time up to I can extend my shipping time up to 7 days. If someone buys my item when I have my shipping time extended, I just send them a message, because I have my phone on me. I send them a message, say, hey, just let you know, not sure if you noticed it, but I had 7 days shipping on. I'm actually currently away on vacation right now. I can ship the item when I get back. If it's an issue, let me know. I can cancel your order for you. But that way I keep my items up there, and I can also list, because I have my drafts. So when I'm on vacation, even though I know you're supposed to be on vacation, not be doing work, I get that.
You're not on vacation if you're listing, Rod.
It don't matter.
We don't know how to have true vacations around here.
So I do eBay. I would do eBay for fun if I didn't do this full time. So that's why I love what I do. But I do list that's why when I have my drafts, I wake up and my wife likes to sleep in. I get up super early. So if I'm staying at a hotel, I'm in the lobby at 6 a.m. waiting, drinking coffee, and I'll be listing on eBay. You know what I mean? Because I already have all my drafts there ready, or I'm editing videos.
That's what I do while I'm waiting on Dalton to get up too. I'll do listings.
So I do that. So I find that for me, if it was a short period of time, like Leroy said, 3 days, 5 days, just extend your shipping time, message the buyer, get good customer service, and that way you don't slow down your store. I have seen and have experience when I did put my store in vacation mode that I did feel like it did take like a little starting back up again so I don't know. What about you, Kat?
I'm going to go with Dagny on this one and say I use vacation mode, even though I'm really not on vacation. So I am still listing, and I do still send offers the whole time.
Yeah.
And when you put on vacation mode, you can set it up to automatically message every single buyer and say, hey, I'm out of town until XYZ. I'll be shipping on this day when I get back. Sending out offers, I didn't notice a slowdown in sales or a slow like to pick back up. I have only done it twice ever, though. I really do not I rarely leave when I am not going to be able to ship, but I make sure that message goes out to them, and then I send offers. But when I send the offer to them, I tell them in the offer, hey, I'm sending you this offer, but please know I am out of town until XYZ, and this will be shipped when I get back if you accept my offer. And I still had really good sales throughout it, but I did, and it changes your handling time for you throughout the vacation mode. It used to not be good about it, but now it is. The last time I used it, it did great.
Yep.
Here, this is something I want to address right here in the comments. So for security, they're saying for security reasons, don't announce that you're not home. Any former buyer has your address.
Get a P.O. box.
So I would tell you,
don't have my address.
Yeah, will cost you about $150 an entire year. If you are serious or if you worry about security purposes, I highly recommend getting one done. Use it for all your return shipping. Use it from all your shipping address for everything you do. Your items are secure at the post office. If you have anything shipped there, they will hold it up to a couple of weeks there for you. But I highly recommend, if you're worried about security reasons, get that. Usually a lot of people that are on YouTube and that do sell in a public forum will have a P.O. box, just the fact that we don't want people coming to our house and knowing where we live. So.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what I have. All right, let's pick a winner of the tape so you can see our lovely faces again. Dun, 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 dun. 6 rolls of tape, and you'll just message me and tell me that you're you, and I'll give you a code. Lisa is the winner. Yay. So again, and thank you to Joel at American Bubble Boy. Marcia can drop my link for that for American Bubble Boy. You do get a discount off tape and Instapack with code The Nurse Flipper on American Bubble Boy. You don't get a discount on bubble wrap because Joel already has it really, really cheap. But if you buy tape or Instapack, you do get a discount. And I'm going to put in the Jaden's code now that you know you didn't win a printer. If you are looking for a low-cost printer, you can get 14% off with code Jaden's Home. And watch my video tomorrow, and you might get another surprise. That's all I'll say. Okay? Okay.
I don't know if you said, is it wireless, the printer, or is it?
Well, I hooked it up to my laptop, but they have an app, and you can print anything from the app from your phone, whether it's iPhone or Android. Dagny says yes. Have you used that feature, Dagny?
No, I got it because it's wireless, and then I'm old, and I couldn't figure it out. So I have used it, and I just plugged it into the wall, and I was like, I can stand here in one spot and print labels. So I use it when we go out of town. And I had a Whatnot show up in Maine, and I used it there, and it worked just fine.
It's little. It's easy to carry.
Yep.
Yeah, Cheryl's saying it too, guys. So I want to throw up. I don't do like a ton of affiliations, and I really only do them for stuff I use. So I did make them send me one so I could use it and see if it was easy and set it up and all that. And it was great. And I'm glad Dagny uses it. Cheryl's using it. Pre-Love Bargain. So a lot of people are using this brand.
Kate, because I have a Rollo, and Kate told me about it, and she traveled. That's what and I don't want to speak for her, but I know I'm not lying. So she used it when she was traveling, and she loves it. So
Dagny,
and they have the full-size one, which I've never seen. It has rolls of full-size paper. So if you needed to print out like a report or something, Sandy has one too. Yay! So now we have a 14% off coupon for Jaden's, and everybody loves it. And I like the pink one. Oh, Dalton has. I had to hide a minute ago because he was so quiet. I was like, is he still back there? I had to go back there and check on him. Oh, show everybody. Smile.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
Dalton lost his front tooth yesterday. Did the tooth fairy come? Yeah? You get money?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mama,
Yes.
let's get me.
He came for me to scratch his back. That's why he came out of hiding. For Mom to scratch his back. All right. Let's see. Hold on. Hyacinth wants to know, how do you turn on international shipping? Is it just in your shipping preferences? Because I think I was automatically opted in.
I think I turned it on like years ago. I think when you had to like say yes, but I thought that you said that maybe people are automatically in it now.
I think they are with the new one if you're newer.
Yeah, I think that you are. I think they automatically put you in there, but you would have to go in your shipping preferences if you wanted to opt out of it. So I would just check in there.
Yeah, I think that's where it's at. It's in those shipping preferences. Marcia says everyone was automatically opted in. All right. Cindy wants to know, do we all have an LLC? And if you get one, how do you add that to your eBay account and to your checking account?
I am not.
So I do have one, and I have a business checking account. So what I just did was I added my business checking account to my eBay account. So just like you would your regular banking account, you just add in your business checking account in there. And then you have an EIN number, which is your business tax ID number. You have to add that to your account
Are
too.
you going to bed?
There's a ghost.
Okay, then stay out here.
They can see
There's
you.
the ghost again.
The ghost
So
is
we
sitting
do
back.
have. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi there.
So we do have an LLC, and for eBay, they just let me change the name. I didn't have to give them any paperwork when I changed to my LLC name. And for 1 second, please. For the checking account, I did have to bring my LLC paper from the state to the bank to get it added to my bank account. So the bank did require paperwork showing the LLC to get that added, but eBay just let me change the name. They didn't make me provide any proof for that.
Well, didn't you have to add your EIN number for your tax purposes though? Because you changed to LLC.
I think I did them both at the same time, so I honestly don't remember. But I think I did them at the same time.
Yeah.
May wants to know, which insurance company do we use for our inventory and how much are we paying?
I don't know. It's like I have homeowners insurance. Jimmy, what insurance company do I use for my inventory? Wouldn't it be covered under homeowners insurance? I guess. I don't know. Kate, Kat, Rod,
Leroy?
anybody else? I don't know.
Leroy, do you have an answer?
No.
So, Dagny, just so you know, if it's for your business, it's
Yes.
not covered under your homeowner's insurance.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So just
Some
gotta give you a heads up.
homeowners will. Some homeowner companies will. But there's
Okay.
a limit to that. Just know there's a limit. So you need to ask them. If it
Okay.
like, I think I've heard if it's grandfathered in if you've had it a long time, but if it's a newer policy, it probably is not covered.
Okay.
Yeah, so it won't be covered. So what you can do is there's a ton of different separate companies out there. It just depends on where you live. Even your homeowner's insurance company will offer a separate policy for businesses and stuff like that, but it's pretty cheap actually. Like
Okay.
for example, if you go to like a storage unit, they're going to charge you $15 a month for like $5,000 worth of insurance.
Okay.
So it's not expensive. It just depends on what you have. But I will tell you, like, your homeowner's insurance also covers, like, if you have a storage unit or
Yeah.
something that's off, your homeowner's insurance policy covers up to
That's
10
okay.
should cover up to 10% of what you have off property. So for example, like if you rent a storage unit and that storage unit blows or has a fire or something like that, your homeowner's insurance should cover up to 10%.
Blows up.
Yeah, it blows up. So like if your policy is $100,000, so it'll cover up to like $10,000, something like that. So
Okay.
and that also goes to if anyone has kids in college. It's like, I'll give you an example. I was robbed when I first moved to Florida. Someone broke into my apartment. I was on visit my family in Pennsylvania. Kicked in my doors, stole my laptop, stole $3,200 worth of stuff. But because I was still under my parents' health insurance,
Yeah.
my apartment was covered under my parents' homeowners insurance because I was off of college. So I was covered up to 10% of what their policy was worth. So
Nice.
Yeah, so I use Liberty Mutual. I did not have insurance on my inventory until I went full time 2.5 years ago, and at which time, when it became my only income, I thought it was very important. So Liberty Mutual covers my inventory. They cover my sheds. They also cover like our equipment, so like our phones, our computer, our printers. And they also, the nice thing is they will cover income. So if a hurricane comes, like we were talking about earlier, and makes it where we are inoperable, they will cover our income, our average income over the last 3 months. So like we're making right now about 15,000 on eBay a month. They would give me 15,000 on eBay a month. Like they would give me 15,000 a month until I was back in business. And it runs close to $300 a month, but I think I only have 40,000 payout. So you can pick if you want to get replacement costs, so your cost of goods, or do you want retail? So I have over 300,000 in inventory. That would cost a lot to insure. And I know I could get that back with a lot less than 300,000. So for me to pay less, I only insured, I think 40 or 50,000. So if we lost everything, which would be very unlikely because our inventory's in 4 separate buildings, they would give me like 50,000 to replace it.
I always say a good rule of thumb is
and pay me monthly.
Yeah, a good rule of thumb is if you were going to sell off your entire inventory, what is the bare minimum in, like, say if push came to shove an emergency, what would you take for it? So let's say if you have $100,000 in inventory, and if you would take $15,000 for that, that's the bare minimum you have to do if you don't want to pay a lot of money per month. Just insure for the bare minimum you would take.
Dalton went inside with Brad. Normally Brad's in bed by now, and he came back and told me he's awake. The lights are on. So I told him to message, and Brad just messaged me and said, "Did you make him mad or something?" I didn't make him mad, but he wanted to plug his phone in, and he likes talking to his cousin when they're playing a game, and he knows he can't talk right now. So he wants to charge his phone inside so he can still talk. And yes, 2.5 years since I went full time in February of 2022. So right at 2.5 years. It is. Time flies when you're having fun. All right. Desert Fairy Chick says, has eBay ever raised your promoted listing amount without you knowing? Mine were all doubled, and I went in and changed them back.
I don't use promoted listings.
Leroy?
Yeah, they do. They constantly. I feel like it jumps because I have it. I think I have it on the flex. So constantly it'll be like, this one's 15%, this one's 9%, depending on the listing. I just give them what they want because I want something from them, and that's business.
So if you don't, a lot of people don't know, eBay has 2 separate promoted listings. You can do it as like a static or a dynamic. If we do the dynamic, it's gonna fluctuate based on what the market rate is that time, and you can cap that off. But I just keep mine at a basic between 2 and 3% for mine, so mine never change. I know Kat uses a dynamic approach, so hers does.
But fluctuate. I cap it though. Yeah. So you can cap it. Mine's capped at 11%. So no matter what, my rates will never go over 11%. So you can say you're okay with it changing, but you can cap it out. If you want to cap it at 5, you can cap it at 5. But I guarantee you nowadays the trending rate is 5 or higher on every category.
Just curious, are you able to see like what your average promoted rate is now because you use the dynamic like for the month? Is it?
I probably could, but honestly, most of them are at that 11 when I look, because like everybody's promoting, so
Yeah.
All right. EB says, I'm a new eBay seller. I've sold 7 items in 2 weeks. Do any of us remember? And if we don't, guys, in the chat, if you're new, please help us out because most of us have been doing this a while. She wants to know how long it takes to get paid. eBay is holding the funds. And the answer to that is yes, they are holding the funds because you are new. Does anybody remember how long it takes? And if we don't, please help us out in the chat.
I remember that because I started and then we went up to Wellsboro and then they were holding my money. And I remember calling eBay at the pool being like, where's my money? And I didn't understand that they were waiting to make sure that you ship it off and I don't know if this is true now. Like they wait for you to ship it off and for the buyer to receive it, and then they only let you sell like a certain amount of like 10 items or something silly. And you really had to prove yourself that you weren't a jerk and that you were going to mail the stuff in time. I wonder, like, yeah, I'd be interested to hear in the chat if that's how it is now.
I remember when I used to have to wait for the check to clear. I didn't wait for the check to clear first time because I was so excited that I got a couple of eBay sales and didn't realize that I was supposed to wait for nothing happened. But somebody was like, "Hey, what are you doing? You can't do that." And there was no YouTube about eBay back then.
So
there was not even YouTube then. I
there
don't
was no
think.
YouTube then. YouTube wasn't a thing at that point in time. So what Leroy was talking about is back in the Wild West days of eBay, you used to receive checks in the mail or money orders for your items, or cash wrapped in envelopes. You know, I probably thought it was a drug dealer back in the day because I was getting like wads of cash just shipped to my house. 18 years old in high school and getting these big wads of cash being shipped to me. But
That's so funny.
So with eBay, so Dagny was on the right course on that. So what eBay would do if you're a new seller, they do, not everyone, but we'll put a restriction on your account on how many items you can sell. And then once those items sell, you have to complete the transaction. And then I think it's like maybe a 3-day grace period after it's been complete before they like release the funds. So the item has to be received to the thing. I think if the buyer leaves you feedback, they may release the money right away, but they don't. They wait, I think it's 72 hours after. I could be wrong on that.
It gets better.
Yeah, and once it's done, I have had people that they, for whatever reason, have held it again. Like if they're normally selling $20 items and then they sell $1,000 item, sometimes they'll hold a established seller for that reason.
Okay.
If it's not in your norm, like we sell $100, $200, $300, $400 items regularly, so mine is not held. And when I sold $3,000 items, it wasn't held because I think it wasn't like that far out. You know, I had sold some higher dollar items before and they didn't hold it. But once they stop holding it, typically you will get it all of the time too.
Leroy, how long did
I was just gonna say that Sonak waited like 9 days.
Yeah, so he sold probably the most expensive Harley Davidson shirt ever. And it was like I forget, it was thousands he sold that shirt for. And he's an established, I mean, he was on the show with us talking about his vintage clothing stuff like that. I mean, he's been on eBay forever. And they held his for like almost a little over a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, almost like 9 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the reason they do is they want
will
to make sure it's not a fraudulent sale, and they want to make sure that, especially with high dollar transactions, I think a big part of the reason for that, they had an influx of credit card disputes maybe back in the day, and then just trying to avoid that situation. So
I'm not going to say eBay's name. I'm just going to say in general. Any place that has access to your money, the longer they can keep your money, the more money they're making off of your money.
Correct.
Yeah. Carrie wants to know, she said what 10%, but I think she just means what percent profit do you aim for? So if you buy a $25 item, what would you want to pay for it? Like $250, so at 10%? Or what's your average percent of the selling price that you like to pay?
I don't math, so I look at solds and see if it's. I don't do that percent. I look to see how much I'm going to have to invest in it, and then how much money I'll make from it, and just hope for the. I don't. That's. I don't
She wings
put
it.
that much thought into it. I do kind of have a reputation for not paying up for things. I've been criticized for that I'm so cheap and I only pay less than $5 for things. But if I see how much I can make from it and I'll get my money back plus more, then I go for it. So I don't think about it that much. I'd probably be more successful if I did, but I don't. So
if I like it, if it's something that I like and I haven't seen it in a while because I'm so niched down, and I know that I bought it for $3 and I'm selling it for $8, I don't care. Like again, maybe that's why I don't make as much money as some of these guys.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But
as I say, it's a hard question just to answer just based on strictly numbers, because there's a lot of factors that play into it. Like a sell-through rate. I would buy an item for $10 that sells for $25 if I know that the sell-through rate is going to be like 200%. So if I list that item on eBay, more likely it's going to be sold by the next day. So and if say it's like a DVD where I'm just sticking in the little poly, put in a little bubble envelope and shipping off, I'll do that all day long, because it's going to take me 2 minutes to ship that item, and it's going to be super easy. Now, I would never pay $250 for an item that's going to take me, say it's a giant 20-inch piece of glass, I'm going to sell for $25, because it's going to take me 20 minutes to wrap that thing up to make sure it doesn't break, protect that thing. So it depends on the item and how fast the sell-through rate is. So if it's going to be a super slow selling item, I probably wouldn't even pick it up if it's going to for $2.50 if I could sell for $25. It's going to have a faster sell-through rate. So you want to factor the sell-through rate, and it's about flipping and how fast we can flip that money so that we can keep rinse and repeat over and over again. So
and shipping, that's a good point.
Yeah, shipping.
Is this going to make me money? And am I going to hate myself when I have to ship it?
Correct. So that's why, there's items where I know I can make $50 on it, but it's going to take me 20 minutes to ship and pack that thing up. It's going to be nothing but a pain in the butt. So I'm not going to do it. I would rather buy an item for $5, sell it for 15, 5 times over, because it'll take me 2 minutes to do that, because it's going to be quick, not going to take a lot of room. So it really comes in the size of the item, and it's going to factor the sell-through rate and how long it's going to take me to ship. And that's going to determine what I'm going to do.
Yeah, so for me, typically, I am going to want to be at 10%. I am watching the sell-through rate. And if you watch my thrifting channel, you'll see me put stuff back and be like, I don't want to ship this for $30. Yeah. And I set it right back on the shelf. Now,
we've all done that. Yeah.
The chair that is still sitting here, I paid $350 for this chair. This here chair, okay? It will sell for $750. So I'm paying over 50% of what it will sell for. But I will probably sell this there are 0 listed and 2 sold. That's a 200% sell-through rate. And it's rare.
And it's not glass.
It's not glass. It's not. I think I have its little thing backwards. Okay, I fixed it. So that's a good, and the thing with that is that the dollar amount on that, I'm still going to make $250 in profit. So my percent might be crappy, but the bottom line is beautiful. Yeah. I'm happy with $250 fast, right?
Yep.
So typically for me, the higher value the item, the more percent I'm willing to pay. With that sell-through rate factored in. Now, if it's a long tail high dollar, I'm going to want to be more 20, 30% max instead of 50. That one's actually going to end up being a little more than 50% buy, but it's going to sell fast and it's going to make me over $250 in profit. So, you really have to kind of look at the individual item. And I also want to say, just because something's cheap, do not feel like you have to buy it. That's like people watch. I went to everything was $1 estate sale. How did you not get? Some people said I bought too much. Some say I didn't get enough. But just because something is $1 doesn't mean it's good. And even if it's free, guys, it is not it could be a chair for a very bougie Barbie doll. It is a Vitro Museum miniature piece from Le Corbusier, who's kind of in the league with Herman Miller. The Herman Miller ones went for over $400. They had 3 of them. I lost on all but my lovely little, I should put a Barbie on it tomorrow.
You should.
I'm going to do that and see if my employees notice. I'm going to put a Barbie lounging on it on the display. I'm going to do it. I'm so going to do it.
Bougie Barbie.
All right. A bougie Barbie. We should display the Barbies on the chair. Chair not included. Okay. Michelle says she had an item get damaged during shipping. The buyer sent her pics and wanted a refund. Do you always need to have them open a return, or can you just go ahead and issue a refund? And I think this is going to be very opinion based. So let's see what everybody says.
I was devastated the first time someone said, this broke, because you're like, oh. But then sometimes it's not your fault. It's USPS, because an elephant stepped on the box and you can tell. And then I've opened for the buyer in a USPS. I forget what they're called. Claim. And
Yeah.
I have gotten money from USPS, and then I just put it, send it through them, and give it to the buyer. They wanted a refund. You always need to open a return.
So do you have the buyer open a return, or do you just
eBay?
give them? Yeah, or do you just give them a refund?
I think they've opened a return. I've never done it like on the side. Like I'll
Just gave them the money.
Yeah, because it's happened few and far between that. Either I've refunded. Maybe I have. I mean, it truly hasn't happened a lot. I think something broke and it was my fault because it was loose and I couldn't really. It wasn't really my fault, but it was the way that it was a picture with something inside it and it bust. So I did refund her the money back. So I don't think they did. I think it would depend. It's like an opinion. It depends on if the buyer's being friendly. Oh, sorry. The buyer's being friendly and, open and knows it's not, being mean about. I don't know. Case by case. What a great answer, Dagny. Leroy?
I personally, most of the stuff that I buy, I do not spend any more than $5 or $8 for it. Like, just being honest, that's why my sales are bad. But anyway, so if somebody claims, if it's something that I know is worth $70 or over $50, I'll tell them to send it back to me so I can inspect it or make sure I'm going to get it back. But if it's an item that I paid $2 for and I sold it for $15, I just give them their money back, and then they'll say, "Well, what do you want me to do? Just throw it away." Like, I make way too much money to worry about something I paid $2 for and sold for $14. I just give it back to them. They can make your eBay experience. They can make your eBay experience miserable by giving you a negative. I try to respond right away. If I'm away, I'll say, I'm busy right now. I'll get back to you within the next hour or two, and we can resolve this. Don't push them off. The longer you hold that, the longer they're ready to push buttons and just cause you headaches. So that's what I do.
Yeah, so anytime I have a buyer that has an issue with shipping or issue with the item they received damaged, I always have them to go through the proper protocol and open a claim on eBay. That way, if there's anything else that arises, that there's documentation on the eBay site that I went through the proper steps. If I refund the buyer, if I give a partial refund, whatever I end up deciding to do, that's always the first step. And I think if the buyer checks the item is damaged, even if you have automatic returns on, eBay will notify you first to see what you want to do. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on that. But I think if you have automatic returns on, if the item is damaged, you will have the option to either refund the buyer or do that. Now, normally what I'll do is I always have the buyer send me the item, but sometimes I'll ask for pictures. If the buyer opens a claim on eBay, they have to provide pictures of the damaged item. And at that point in time, you can assess the situation. If it's really damaged or there's a message on the buyer thing, request pictures of the box. So anything that you request from the buyer, they can't add additional thing. That only helps your case with eBay because you're taking the steps that you need this for follow insurance claims or anything else you need to do. And if the buyer's not cooperating on there, sometimes eBay, you can ask eBay to step in and eBay may end up deciding to refund you, have you keep the money and refund the buyer. So that's why you always go through the proper protocol with eBay before just issuing with them. Now, just like Dagny and Leroy said, I'm always okay with just refunding the buyer sometimes. If you know that this is not going to be a switcheroo where they're switching something out, the item was actually something that was yours, was damaged because the box got smashed or something outside of your control, and then you can just issue a refund. But majority of the time, I'll have the buyer go through that process and just take the proper steps and then make your decision based on the evidence they provide.
Yeah, and I do the same. Even if I'm going to refund them, I make them open a return because you're protected from negative feedback if you're a top-rated seller and they open a return. If they do not open a return and you just refund them and then they leave negative feedback saying they packed it crappy, it broke, you're not covered. buy seller protection, but if they open a return, you are. So I tell them, hey, look, I'm not going to have you ship it back because you sent me pictures. I see it's broke, but I need you to open a return through eBay so I can formally process your refund. You will not need to ship it back. And then they have to submit the pictures to eBay for their return claim. And that's what I do. So, yeah. And somebody got mad at me for that last week, but you know, stuff. They wanted to, actually, it wasn't a broke item. They just wanted to send it back and they were fighting me. They're like, I have your address. I'll just mail it back. I'm like, I will not give you a refund unless you open a return on eBay. Like, I want that return protection. I'm like, if you send it to me, I'm not giving you your money back. You have to open a claim. And then I will pay for the shipping instead of you. Like, why would you not want to do that? That was such a hassle. I don't know why you made me do that. They were like, it was ridiculous. I'm like, do what you're supposed to do.
Do what you're told.
This is funny. How do you balance inventory space? Her husband's going to need a Xanax soon.
Balance inventory space. What does that mean? I have inventory right at my feet. What are you talking about? Look. Yeah, right here. We live in my inventory space. Come on now.
Personally, sell smaller items. I hate to say it and sound ignorant, but I can fit a lot of. I have when I'm fully going, I'm have about 1,500 items, and I can fit it on. I can fit it on 5 of my rolling racks. I have 6 shelves on each rack, and everything's labeled and everything's organized. And try to be more organized. Have the same size boxes. If it's a bigger item, put the bigger items on a different shelf. But your normal size items, keep them in your storage containers that are all the same. When I see people with storage containers that 15 different sizes on one shelf, I'm like, what are you doing? But that's what I do. You know, get smaller items when you're thrifting. Just thrift smaller items. I know a guy who sells well, I know someone who sells postcards, and there's another guy who sells I forgot what it was. It's small, and it's all out of his closet. His whole eBay inventory is in his closet, and he makes.
How nice would that be?
I dream of
wouldn't
that.
that be beautiful? Dagny,
Yeah.
you're muted. You're very ecstatic, but you're quiet.
Plot twist. His closet is as big as his house.
So I would say once your inventory starts taking over your living space and starts affecting your relationship with your significant other or your family or your children, then it's time to look up maybe possibly outside storage, either getting a shed for your backyard or renting a small storage unit, because I will tell you, peace of mind goes a long way. I've had this issue with my wife, and that when she was my girlfriend at the time, and I had a townhome that I owned, and I bought out some massive collections during the pandemic, and it started to take over my garage, my office, and it was not good living situation for her. So she is a minimalist, and I am a cluttered fanatic, I guess you could say, organized chaos, as I call it. But so once I got literally moving the stuff outside of my house, a big portion of my inventory to outside storage facility, worked wonders for her mental health and the mental health of the house, because I could be able to work. I had an area to work now. I had able to be able to move stuff around. And so that does go a long way. Or I would say have a blowout sale, move, garage sale, or just sell off some of your inventory, or take a bunch of it and donate it if it's sale items. But I would say just be careful with that. You don't want to start impacting where you live.
Yeah, so for me, I balance it by buying another shed, or just taking over my rental house. Our house was horrible before we got the first shed.
Yeah.
We now have,
hey,
we now have 3 sheds, and I use my rental house as full of inventory. So we have 4 inventory spaces at this point.
Can your business be written off as renting your rental house?
So what happened with the rental house is I asked the accountant about that because my son was living there, and then now we use it for inventory. And I asked him, should I pay myself, from the business for rent? And he said, no, like it's a wash. It's the same, thing because the LLC and the S Corp are filed through my personal taxes. So it would just be a wash, but I pay the electric for there. And like when I had to get the house cleaned up and stuff for inventory, I pay everything out of the business account for it. But there's really not much point in paying myself from the business to me for the shed, because then it's just income to my business and it's just washing itself out. And I own it outright. I don't have like a mortgage or anything on it. So I don't have to worry. Like if I did have payments, I would make those payments from the business, but I don't have any payments on it or anything.
What's your square footage over there?
1,200 in that one. And then this shed I'm in right now is about 500 square feet. And then we've got 2 other that are close to 500. So we've got about 3,000. I guessed 5,000 before. I was totally off. It's about 3,000 square foot of storage that we are currently utilizing.
I'm downsizing from 900 square feet to 750.
Yeah, so this shed I'm in right now is 12 by 40. With lofts, so with triple lofts. So really I have almost double that, because almost half the length of this shed is lofted. I'm looking, you guys can't see it, but there's a loft above my head. So like my boxes and stuff and our bubble wrap goes in the loft so it doesn't take up the regular. But I don't want to need more space. Like I'm trying to need less space where I could even like clear one of these areas out and use it for and we did, I organized the house more and I bought some furniture. So I'm starting to buy some furniture pieces. I picked up like a wicker table, and try and pick up some bigger items that will bring more profit, but you need more space for that. Right. So I'm hoping to get rid of some of the smaller, like lower profit stuff and put a piece of furniture there that might take longer, but it'll make me more money, in the long run. All right, we have time for one more question. Here, we'll make it a YouTube question. I know some of you use a GoPro, but if you're not using a GoPro, I know some of us do not use a GoPro, but if you are not using a GoPro, what do you prefer, a phone or a camera to record? So let's go ahead and answer this. I think I know everybody's answer, but let's see.
I do not use a GoPro. I use my Android. And I use my Android to film and edit and upload and everything. But we also have what I call a fancy camera, which is a vlogging camera that I use for our house in Maine that I did the first walkthrough. We did a video about it, and it is higher quality, so we are going to use the fancy camera for those videos just because the quality is higher and I have to use a different editing software, so that's a little... It's annoying to me because I'm not good at that, but I use my phone for filming and editing and everything because it's in your pocket, it's in your purse. You can pull it out. I don't feel it's because I film myself shopping, so I don't feel it's like, bringing out my camera, and I just feel more comfortable with it.
I don't do much filming at all, so I'm gonna pass it to Rod.
Yeah, so I film a ton. I put out 5 videos a week. 2 of my Flipper channel, 1 of my picking, punching cards channel, and 2 of my picking and punching garage sale channel. And I use a GoPro when I do go out, but if I don't have my GoPro, I would use my iPhone. Make sure you guys do film horizontal, not vertical, especially if you're doing long form video for YouTube. Just a little tip there. But honestly,
Or
you don't
use
need to
vertical for shorts, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, you can actually do vertical. You can actually do horizontal even with the GoPro, and then you can actually edit. You can actually cut it to do shorts. So depending on the setting you have it. But I would say I like GoPro because you're hands free. So I'm not holding my phone and not doing that, especially when at garage sales. It leads me up to talk, but also too I can pick up my phone, look up a comp while I have my GoPro on. So I use the strap to my chest when I do that, and then I know like Kevin and a lot of other guys wear a book bag and they wear it on their shoulder. ADHD does that too. A death pile picker, combo picker, they do that there. But
the necklace is friggin' amazing, guys. The magnetic necklace is it
put
goes
it
under your shirt.
Yeah.
And then you put it here and it's like it's just floating on your shirt. So that is what I use a GoPro. And I used to use my phone, and I will tell you the camera I'm using now to talk to you is a ZV-1, which is what Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady, uses. And I got this camera that I'm using as a webcam now with the intention of filming like Jocelyn films. But I shake and people thought I was having a stroke and I made them dizzy. And I cannot hold the camera steady. So the GoPro has stabilization. So it doesn't matter how much I'm doing, whatever I'm doing. It will stabilize it out and I don't make you guys feel like you're drunk. Where when I was hand holding the camera like Jocelyn does, I could not get a steady shot. So that is why I use the GoPro. I haven't used my phone in forever, but for the first 2 years of my channel, I used my phone until YouTube paid to buy me a camera and a GoPro. That's my thing. I didn't want to put money into it until it paid for itself. And you can do a whole YouTube channel with nothing but your phone. Yeah. You really do not need anything but a phone. But the hands-free is amazing with the GoPro.
That's what my 16-year-old is for. She holds the camera and then I show.
Okay. See, the one thing I will say,
Dalton would be like, "Look at this."
Kat,
he was doing that tonight in the house. I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Kat made a good point about she waited till she was monetized on YouTube. She made extra income from YouTube before she upgraded her camera and bought additional stuff. I highly recommend that. But I will say this: if you are getting paid on YouTube and you are monetized, and this is part of your income, the best piece of advice I ever got was if you're making money off this, you should be upgrading your camera every time. So every time a new GoPro comes out, I buy that GoPro. I'm going to sell off my other GoPro because I need to have the best equipment possible to give you guys the best quality because this is what I do for a living. This is how we get paid. This is what we do. Even though, YouTube's only a small portion of what some of us make, compared to reselling, it's still part of our business. So you want to make sure you have the best equipment for your business.
Yeah, I'm going to try and find you guys the link of the magnetic necklace I use for the GoPro real quick while everybody's telling you bye. We are out of question time, so I'm going to make Dagny big. Dagny can tell you about her house and all of her things that are coming up and her whatnots. And then Leroy will, and then Rod, and then me. And I'm going to find that link and put it in the chat for you. So here is Dagny.
Ooh, it's so big. Oh my Lord. Thank you so much.
You're giant.
And I know I'm like giant. Thank you so much, Kat and Rod, for having me here. You can find me here on YouTube at Flying Pig Thrifts. That's Jenny blowing her nose. I drop videos 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Please subscribe. We are starting a new series of, we bought a abandoned house in northern Maine, and we are slowly fixing it up ourselves. And I sell on eBay and whatnot twice a week. And I am very active on Instagram. And thank you again for having me here.
Perfect. Here's Leroy.
Oh, it's me again. I don't know why I'm so fuzzy. And when Rod said that, I'm like, I know my laptop is good, but as I'm moving into the new warehouse, I am getting a new monitor. I am getting a new iPhone because I use that to take my pictures. It is very important that you upgrade that stuff. You guys can find me on Reseller Information Network. That's where I usually hang out. I'm not really big on my YouTube channel at this time. And hopefully my store will be up and going by the next time I'm on here. I think it will be. Cat books out like 19 months in advance. So I know that by September I'll be good. And if anybody ever has any questions, I am active on Instagram. So if you have any questions about tools or any questions about how I did my move or what am I doing in my move, I'll be more than happy to try to help you guys. Thank you guys both for letting me be on the show, and it was nice hanging out with you, Daphne.
Sir Rod?
All right, so tomorrow night I will be live on Whatnot. I'm doing a vintage Disney, just all kind of random Disney items, and then ADH Dave is going to go right after me, so we're going to do back-to-back. I'm starting at 7 p.m. He's going to go live like 8:15. I'll be dropping a new video tomorrow on my Flipping and Punching channel tomorrow morning, so check that one out. And I dropped a new video today on picking and punching, and if you guys like cards, I drop a new video every Monday if you guys are into sports cards on picking and punching sports cards. my brand new channel, so go check it out if you want to learn about that and my journey getting
Drop
back.
that link for them because they asked for it, Rod.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm getting. If you want to follow, if you guys don't know, that's the first thing I ever started reselling back when I was a teenager, and I used to go with my grandparents to the flea markets. So follow my journey. If someone getting back to the original love of sports cards, and so I got a separate channel. We just drop one video a week, and then we do a short every day where I do like an unboxing where I'm unpacking some cards to see what we get.
All right. I'm dropping a video tomorrow and you want to watch it because you might be able to win something maybe. So watch my video tomorrow. And next week we will have Rachel Strickland and my good friend Katie Reeves on with us tomorrow. I'm not doing a podcast every day. I at one time was that ambitious, but I'm not now. Next Tuesday they will be on with us. I have a whatnot scheduled for tomorrow. For gemstone, what am I selling tomorrow? I don't even freaking know.
I'll look.
I don't even know. I'm selling something on Whatnot tomorrow, and I'm going to have a little dog clothes Whatnot sale, guys. I asked my audience if they would want it, and so I did a in-person big buy, and I have 3 bins of doggy clothes. I even have doggy sunglasses, guys.
Tomorrow at 3:30, you have a Whatnot show.
What am I selling, though?
You're selling estate sterling silver.
Oh, sterling silver. Yes. See, I don't even know what I'm selling. I'm jealous of Dagny's activity on Instagram. I have not been able to because I just have so many things going on. So that's why I'm hoping my daughter will be able to help me with that soon. And because I used to be really active on there and I haven't had time. I also will have another Thrift With Me video out on catch treasure hunting tomorrow. Again, thank you to Joel at American Bubble Boy and Mario from Jaden's Home. I'm going to put their YouTube again. If you could give them a follow as a thank you for the giveaway. And if you need tutorials, they are on their website as well. And I want to thank Leroy and Dagny. I'm so happy to have them back on. Rod for continuing to show up.
Yeah, for showing up.
You guys in the audience, of course, we wouldn't have a show without you. So thank you all for hanging out with us. And we will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a good rest of your week, guys.
Bye.